Hi everyone, how's everyone doing? My name is Mr. Chris Shelton. I have a master's degree, as most people should know by now. And let's wait for some people to get in the chat before we run our history of asbestos. And we're only going to do it if we get enough groveling. We're only going to do it if we get enough begging. We need a major amount of. We need to see. I need to see. I, Chris Shelton, need to see a major amount of sucking up if we run before we run the history of asbestos. Okay, so because folks, I'm the winner. I'm the one. I'm the legend. No one else is as good as me. I don't lose, folks. A lot of people are losers. Form 13. How you doing? Thanks for being here. Asbestos for the rest of us. That's a good. I like that. Miss Sunrise, how you doing? Thanks for being here. My name is Chris Shelton. I have a master's degree, master's in applied science. Any channel subscribers, which I know you guys are all subscribers, any and all channel subscribers have earned an honorary master's degree from me, Chris Shelton. Hey, Mandy, how you doing? Thanks for being here. Like I said, we're going to wait for everyone. I need to see a lot of likes in the thing. I need to see major amount of sucking up. I need to see people subscribing before we run the history on asbestos. Psych on the rocks. Thanks for being here. Miss Sunrise asks a good question. Says, hello, Chris. Have you seen that bozo Clearwater chat? And he is a bozo. It's a good call, Miss Sunrise. And basically, let's tell the 30-second version of the story, folks. This bottom-feeding, double-dribbling, defective reptile Chad comes into my chat. He has the nerve to say, hi, everyone. Chad has the nerve to say, Chad hit the like button. I booted him. He's out. He'll never be back. Oh, you caught that, Miss Sunrise? Yeah, that was supposed to be a secret. I seen him and I booted him. I don't care how many names this guy has, this bozo. I will ban them all. He's not allowed on my stream. And a lot of great comments, folks. I'm not used to this. Let's try to get to all of them. Psych says despicable. I agree. Form 13 says me, Chris. I'm Chris. I'm the one with a master's degree. What would you say that Aaron Smith Levin and Clearwater Chad have the morals of an alley cat? I agree. They do. They're sitting around in the dumpsters and in the garbage. And Chad, I don't know if it's Chad or Aaron. What do you guys think? Which one reminds you of Heathcliff, the cat that he had 6 cars? He used to live on the top car in the junkyard, and he had his girlfriend Cleo. He used to get the food for her. I don't know which one of those bottom feeders. They both live in a junkyard, So these are facts. I'm the one though. I'm the legend. I don't lose, folks. Those are the losers. That's a fact, Jack. So it's just me. I'm the one. Yeah, Sir Crepitus, thanks for being here. I love asbestos too, Sir Crepitus. And I know a little bit about the history. Actually, I know a lot about the history. I want to tell everyone in the chat as soon as I see enough groveling, as soon as I see enough begging, as soon as I see enough sucking up, then we'll run the video. Till then, we don't run the video, folks. I keep my knowledge to myself. Anyone that's not, and I'm sure every one of my members is subscribed, but make sure, guys, you go ahead and subscribe to Secrepitus. He's a good friend of mine. He's a good friend of Poe. And that's a fact, Jack. As for Aaron Smith Levin, his career is over. I'm the legend. I don't lose, folks. I'm way above all them bottom feeders. I don't accept non-performance. I don't accept second best. I never came in second place in anything in my life, folks. Thank you, sir. Don't forget, guys, you go ahead and subscribe to Sir Crepitus. And that's a fact. I seen most of your live earlier. It was really good. I didn't know, Sir. I don't know what right words to use, but I didn't realize you were fair game like that. That's horrible. I'm glad. Obviously, that was a long time ago when you overcame it, and that you were able to use a lot of it in your police work when you, like you were saying, you went to. You were on the other side when you had to be the peace officer, and you of course did the right thing and told people, hey, they have the right to be here. They're not being bad. That's right, sir. And I can't even almost wait to get to asbestos, because a lot of people don't realize asbestos comes from the earth. It's a rock, it's a mineral, and it's not even illegal, folks. People use asbestos um, in the military, and they use it on planes. It's still used, folks. You got to be more responsible with it nowadays. Um, and you don't want to breathe this stuff. Um, that's true, Form 13. You don't want to breathe this stuff. You got to wet it down if you're going to remove it, and you do beat a mask. I mean, it's recommended. So you got to wet it down. You don't want to make a lot of dust. You got to wet it down. Don't make a lot of dust. You got to they call it abatement. Make sure there's no dust going around. No one that doesn't work with the stuff should be going near it. It's got to be else. You got to be trained. You got to be trained in asbestos, folks. But it's not as bad. Like I said, you don't want to breathe this stuff, and you don't want to, mess around with it. But it's not as bad if it's not as bad as people think. It's a fire retardant, so it's done a lot of good, in my opinion, which holds a lot of weight because I'm the one. I'm the man. You know what I mean? I'm the one that did it, folks. I purchased over 50 houses in my lifetime, and I'm buying on a 110-foot boat tomorrow, so I think we can conclude that I'm successful. Okay? I don't picture Aaron buying a boat, and Chad can't even get a ride on a boat, so we know who's the one. So for those guys, it's over. It's just me. I'm taking over. And Aaron's channel is dying on the vine. So, I'm the one. No one, as you guys agree, no one is good at what I do as myself. So yeah, that's right, Miss Sunrise. That's right. Yeah, that reminds me that anyone that's a channel subscriber has earned an honorary master's degree from Shelton University, folks. That's right, Form 13. We have attorneys that can work on that stuff. Serious stuff. Let's see what's on the agenda for tonight. The prelim is almost over. We're going to watch the video. And this is why I'm the best. I come up with scripts. Most people like Aaron don't come up with anything. They don't know what they're doing. They can barely read or write, folks. Everyone else is second best to me. So that's a fact. Okay? So, thanks, Becky. So like I said, asbestos has to be handled with respect. You want your PPE on, your personal protective stuff. You want to respect it. And I believe, it's been a while since I've been in an asbestos class, but there's what is it? Canada and Africa, I believe, are the two biggest places where they still mine asbestos. I believe there's a huge town in Canada called Asbestos, Canada. Could be. It's been a while, folks. I have been trained on asbestos. I do have a couple of certificates somewhere. Before we're almost getting to the video, folks, because I know you guys can't wait. But just to reiterate, I'm the one. I'm the man. First man on YouTube. I'm the entertainer. I'm the funniest one on YouTube. You know? So people should respect my authority a little better. I don't ever accept defeat, folks. Alright, let's see if we can fire up the video as long as everyone's behaving. Brief history on asbestos. Okay.
On the 14th of March 1924, an English textile worker named Nellie Kershaw passed away after several years of ill health. During the autopsy which followed, strange, sharp particles of mineral matter were found inside her lungs. Her case was written into medical literature, becoming the very first widely published case of a person dying as a result of exposure to asbestos in their workplace. Nellie Kershaw, however, would not by any means be the last to die from such a cause.
Very interesting, folks. Interesting.
Asbestos is a naturally occurring mineral material, generally white and fibrous in
I told you, folks, I was the one that told you it was a rock. I was the one. I did it. I'm the man.
Appearance. It has many exceedingly useful properties, including being resistant to flame, an excellent thermal and electrical insulator, and resistant to many acids and other chemicals. Its fibrous nature means that it can exhibit all of these properties while also being flexible and easy to work with. This combination.
So far, it's a very interesting video, folks. I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys to make sure you're paying attention.
Combination of desirable traits has led to asbestos being used extensively throughout history. There is evidence of prehistoric people mixing asbestos fibers into clay cooking pots to strengthen them. In ancient
So they used to use them in clay pots, folks. Listen up to this next part. It's a good part, too.
Egypt, asbestos cloth may have been used when mummifying dead bodies in order to better protect them.
See, folks, they knew where it was at. The mummies, the Egyptian people, they knew best. They used asbestos. We should still be using asbestos. You know, it's a good fire retardant. It's just a rock. And if you're afraid of a rock, you lost my vote, folks. You just got to be respectful of it and keep the dust down. That's all. So we should be reinstalling asbestos in the school systems and all around the world, folks.
In ancient Persia, some wealthy citizens owned handkerchiefs woven with asbestos fibers. These were fireproof, and so could be cleaned simply by dropping them into a fire. Any dirt would burn away, but the asbestos cloth would remain undamaged. In the Roman Empire, the wicks of ceremonial candles were made with asbestos.
There you go. There you go. The wicks of the candles, folks. It was good enough for the Romanian Empire. It's good enough for Shelton University. It's good enough. It's good enough for Mel's bedroom. See, folks, you know, we're going to keep going with the video, but I just want you guys to know Mel's still not being a good wife. She's still not cooking or cleaning for me. And she's in the spare bedroom. She doesn't want to see me. She said, stay out of the room I'm in. And she doesn't like the fact that I'm in my studio all day, not helping out with the household work. That's not my problem. That's her problem, folks. Yeah, it's good enough for the Free Wings Form 13. I agree. Oh, Miss Sunrise. Good. We'll get back to the video, folks. This is a good comment from Miss Sunrise. Miss Sunrise advises, as a self-proclaimed teacher's aide, I must insist that we all pay attention. Attention. Oh, look, squirrel. Wait, wait. Must refocus. We all must. Oh, shine. I agree with Miss Sunrise. Miss Sunrise and any of the mods have my permission to act aggressively to anyone that says anything negative about Chris Shelton, me. And they don't even have to say it out loud, they just have to think it. Anyone that even thinks anything negative about me, Chris Shelton, be booted out of here so fast you won't know what's hit you, folks. All right, let's get back to work. Let's back to the video.
Saturated with oil, the wick would still give a good light, but wouldn't burn away, making the candle last much longer. Blankets woven with asbestos were sometimes used when cremating dead bodies, too. Because the blanket would not burn, it would easily separate the ashes of the recently deceased from the ashes of the fire they were cremated on. Roman lawyer and writer Pliny the Younger noticed that many slaves that worked with asbestos became ill, though he was unsure exactly why. This may have been common knowledge at the time, as many people declined to buy slaves that had previously worked at asbestos quarries, believing that they would have short lives.
Get online in minutes. Web.com's AI builder makes it easy. Simply tell us some info about.
Despite this, asbestos continued to be used throughout the centuries, until the 1800s, when interest in the mineral suddenly increased. Sir William Edmund Logan, a Canadian geologist, displayed samples of asbestos in London.
So there you go. Early 1800s, they found out it was even better than they thought. And they thought we better start manufacturing this and put it in schools, put it in houses, put it in everywhere we could put it, folks. So that's a fact, and I agree with that. They should have did that. Let's get back to work, folks.
Where people were amazed by the versatility and usefulness of the material, and it was soon in great demand. Asbestos was used to make all manner of everyday items, like heat-proof oven gloves and ironing board covers. It was used as a coating to insulate pipes, floors, and walls. It was sprayed onto the interior of train cars for insulation and formed into sheets for the construction of prefabricated buildings. It was used to...
Howdy, Gary. Just wanted to say hi to you. We're having a good time over here talking about asbestos and asbestos accessories. And my name is Chris Shelton. As you guys know, I'm the one with the master's degree. I'm the man. I did it. I'm the one. No one's better than me. No one's a bigger star than me. When I go out to eat, I have to sign 15 signatures, 15 fan letters. People want my signature. They want my autograph, folks. I can't even go out to dinner anymore. You know, I'm the one, folks. You know it. I know it. You know it. You know, it's hard being me. Everyone wants to win like me. You know, just because I founded YouTube doesn't mean, means I'm one of the good guys. As you guys know, I got an award from the National Good Guys. I got an award from the National Cults Association. They said I was a good guy. They gave me a good guy award. It was just me. No one else got the award, folks. And people like Aaron from growing up in Scientology wasn't even capable of showing his face at the National Cults Convention. So they gave me the award. Excuse me, folks. They said I was a winner and a star. And we'll go ahead and get back to the documentation because we have some people here that want to get right to it.
to insulate wires, to make banknotes that could not be burned, to create fireproof uniforms for firefighters, to insulate and protect automobiles, to clad pipes, to create warm and insulating blankets, and for many other things besides. This increased demand for asbestos necessitated greater production. Asbestos was mined all over the world, with some of the largest extractors being...
It looks like the mine in Canada, folks. What do you think? Let's see if they say. It's either Canada. No, it's Canada or Russia. Those two countries. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've been trained in asbestos, but it's either Canada or Russia. They got the two biggest mines.
Being Canada, Russia, and Zimbabwe.
There we go. Well,
factories and facilities all over the world turned raw asbestos into usable products, and the material was...
So, Canada, Russia, Zimbabwe. And there's still active mines. They still use asbestos in the space industry, folks, and the military. It's a good product still. You just have to be careful with it. If it wasn't good, they wouldn't use it. We have nothing to replace it. That's why we have to use it. And these are facts. No one else is giving the facts away. And let's talk about refrigerant a little bit. Now, as you guys know, I know a lot about everything. So let's do a 1 minute little lecture on automotive refrigerants. Now, you guys know in the old days, we had R12. It was determined in the 70s it was bad for the ozone layer, so they had all the chemists and everyone figure out how to make something a little better. So 1993, I believe, 1993, 94, it was phased out and we went to R134. And that's supposed to be better for the environment. Now, right around 2014, 2015, we have Y1234. I believe that's what it's called. That's supposed to be even better for the environment. It's a lot more money, but it's better. And both products aren't as cold as R12, but we have to think about the environment. That's my 2 cents on automotive refrigerant, folks. Let's get back to work.
Ubiquitous in the construction and shipbuilding industries. Asbestos, in short, was everywhere. In the early 1900s, it was noticed that asbestos workers tended to die at a younger age than workers in other industries. In 1906, a London doctor attributed the death of a 33-year-old man directly to asbestos for the first time. In 1924, textile worker Nellie Kershaw passed away after working with asbestos for many years, and notes on her case were published in medical journals in the UK.
So you hear that, folks? They found out people were dying in the 1920s. They decided to use it as their go-to product till the 1970s, folks. That's okay, though, folks.
By this stage, many medical professionals suspected that asbestos was dangerous, although in many cases they were uncertain how. The illness suffered by many factory workers was often referred to as asbestos poisoning. Asbestos didn't poison those who worked with it. Rather, it produced dust.
Sounds like something your wife or ex-wife would give you, asbestos poisoning. Am I right, folks?
Dust which consisted of minuscule fibers that were so fine they could be easily inhaled. Inhaled fibers would lodge in the tissue of the lungs, and the body's natural immune response would cause scar tissue to form around them. As more and more fibers were inhaled, more and more scar tissue would form. As more and more scar tissue formed, the functioning of the lungs would be impaired, leading to coughing, wheezing, and breathing difficulties. Eventually, the scarring would become so severe that the lungs would no longer be functional, and death would result. In addition to this, inhaling asbestos fibers could also lead to an aggressive form of cancer known as mesothelioma. In most cases, those who developed mesothelioma as a result of asbestos inhalation would have only months to live by the time it was discovered. Asbestos was most deadly when inhaled in large quantities or repeatedly. As such, it worst affected those who worked with it in factories.
And folks, just so you guys know, Mel took a $2 million life insurance policy on me, so I've kind of been tiptoeing around, trying to be a little nicer to her around the house. I don't want to end up, you know what I mean, folks.
Or on construction projects. However, the danger also extended to those around them, as asbestos fibers could settle on their clothing and then later be disturbed and inhaled by those close to them. Children, for example, who hugged their parents every day when they returned from work in a factory processing asbestos, often later developed asbestos-related illnesses, even though they themselves had never set foot in the factories. Though the dangers of asbestos were proven quite definitively in the 1950s, the use of asbestos continued in many countries for many years thereafter. The industry was keen to minimize and obscure the dangers of the substance. Asbestos was simply so profitable, linked to so many jobs, and so useful for so many purposes that there was an extreme reluctance to move away from it altogether.
Battleship sunk. Enemy battleship detected. Enemy submarine spotted. Attention. Reporting the target position.
To this day, India continues to trade in asbestos.
So India still uses asbestos, folks. And that's their privilege. Like I said, it's a good product.
Although there is awareness of its dangers and the mining of asbestos is banned. As of 2020, Russia continued to mine and trade asbestos, as did China and Brazil. Materials containing small amounts of asbestos are still used in the United States, although the mining of asbestos in America has been stopped. Canada announced a ban in 2018, with a few exceptions for industries such as nuclear power.
I just wanted to say thank you to Gary. Gary is in the chat saying that my show is the best show on YouTube. He said should be on every station in America and the world. I know, Forum 13. I'm cheap. I was thinking as we're watching the commercials, I was like, well, I'm pretty cheap, but if I'm gonna be streaming stuff, maybe I should spring for the, 23 cents or whatever it costs per month for the YouTube Premium. No, I think it's like $9.99 or $14.99 or something, which still isn't a pretty minimal expense, folks. So if we keep running those things, I promise that I will force Mel to give me the money for the YouTube Premium. And like I said, she said no when I asked her for money from her paycheck so we can get me a servant. She said that, I don't even want to go into what she said. But let's get back to the video. We got a lot of work. A lot of work to do, folks.
Power production. Despite the usefulness of asbestos, though, some countries have achieved a total ban. In the UK, the phasing out of asbestos began in the 1980s and was finally complete with a total ban in 1999. Australia, which once had one of the highest rates of asbestos use in the world, began phasing it out in the 1980s.
Thank you very much, Form 13. I will buy it. It means a lot to me. It's thank you so much. You guys are great. I don't even have the words, folks. Let's get back to work here.
And achieved a total ban in 2003. Japan also undertook a phased ban on asbestos use, finally achieving a complete ban in 2012. Germany banned asbestos in 1993. But, though asbestos bans are either already in place or planned for the near future in many countries around the world, the problem of asbestos is not likely to disappear anytime soon. Around the world, hundreds of millions of buildings, vehicles, and industrial installations are still filled with asbestos. In many cases, this lingering asbestos is a hidden hazard. If asbestos insulation, for example, is left enclosed and undisturbed, it poses no danger. But when renovations are undertaken, when buildings are demolished, or when there is damage to buildings, dangerous asbestos dust can be released.
And so I don't know if they're going to say it here, but that's when you have to, they call it an abatement, is when they put everything in a sealed unit in plastic and no one can go in or out, just like the sign says there.
Safe asbestos removal requires careful control of dust and a huge amount of training and personal protective equipment for the workers involved. As such, it can be an extremely expensive.
Sorry to pause the video. We have some good questions here. From Miss Managed, Dr. Shelton says, I learned so much. Let me post this one. I learned so much when I'm here. Do you think it's because you have a master's degree? I think we can conclude immediately that it is definitely because I have a master's degree. And I'm the only one on YouTube that's willing to share my information with the world. Okay. Mel doesn't appreciate it. A lot of other people don't appreciate it, but you guys are the good guys. You guys appreciate it. Okay, let's get back to work, folks.
Process. This is not to mention the difficulty of determining what parts of a building contain what amounts of asbestos in the first place. Studies have concluded that around 250,000 people each year die prematurely because of exposure to asbestos. In every country where asbestos was widely used, there are thousands of deaths, thousands of cancers, and a huge toll on the healthcare services each year because of asbestos. It is common in most industrialized countries for most people to be exposed to some amount of asbestos dust at some point in their lives. The dangers of asbestos have been suspected since the time of the ancient Romans, and proven since the 1950s. Nonetheless, the material, incredibly useful and...
I just want to point out, you can't really, unless you go crazy on it, you can't really see it. It could be in the air and you can't see it. So make sure the companies that you work for are following any and all asbestos policies. Like I said, you need to do an abatement if you're disturbing anything. And if your building you work in is built before 1980, it is assumed to have asbestos in it, and you would need to have an abatement. If your employer refuses to follow instructions, if you work in the private sector, you'll be calling OSHA. If you're a state or federal employee, you'll be calling PESH. Okay? File a PESH complaint or an OSHA complaint.
And versatile as it was, continued to be used for decades past the point when it was known to be dangerous. Because of this, and because of how widespread it was, it is likely that asbestos will remain a hazard, not just for decades to come, but for centuries.
What did you guys think of the video? I thought it was very informative. I need praise that I brought you this video, folks. I'm the only one on YouTube tonight bringing you guys the asbestos video. And, people like Aaron Smith-Levin didn't do it. He hasn't shown videos. All he does is talk. No one wants to hear him talk anymore. I'm the only one. I'm the man. Like I said, I'm buying a 110-foot boat tomorrow, so we're not going to be on too much longer because I need to get some rest. I need to inspect my boat. And that's going to happen. I know you guys don't see me as the fisherman type, but, going out with a nice gentleman named Marty Rathbun. We're going fishing. He's going to teach me how to fish. And it's going to be a delightful time, folks. Victoria, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. As you know, my name is Chris Shelton. I have a master's degree. Just me. I'm the one. I'm the legend. That's a fact, Jack. No one else is as good as what they do as me. I'm the one. I'm the man. Okay? I'm all above, well, not you guys, but I'm above all the haters that don't subscribe to my channel. You guys are the good guys, so we're winding down, folks. The video's over. Let's have a couple minutes and just wind down and just ask me anything. Ask you guys. You guys can ask each other stuff. And then, because we're leaving soon, I need to get some rest. It's 12:48 in Clearwater, Buffalo here. Yeah, that's definitely Form. I love your handle there. That's one of the Muppets. I used to love that Oscar, that Grouch. Okay, Nancy. Okay, I'll try to remember that. See, I don't have the best memory, folks. I got to keep my notes. So if I forget, just remind me again. And like I said, Mel's supposed to be taking notes of this stuff. She refuses. We'll try to get Chad back soon, Joni. There's just so much to do on the Shelton Network over here. And Chad's bored. If you want to be bored by Chad, so be it. But, Oh, I know, Miss Sunrise, right? I need, because, like I said, I'm the one that has to do all the household stuff. Might have these dishpan hands because Melissa won't even wash the dishes, folks. We can do that, Becky. Black mold is not your friend. All right? I'm your friend. I'm the one with the master's degree. We have a lot of lectures to get through. I don't know if you guys can handle it or not. We still have one pending in the loop that I didn't get to because I was too tired. I want to get through the Toyota production method. That really is going to be a thriller. It might be a 10-hour live, folks. I don't think anyone realizes that. I don't even know if I want to give it away, folks. But Toyota production, look it up. But yeah, the Roman history one, I might have to, I want to do that one, but I might actually give that one to Griff tomorrow to do Griff Calzone. We'll see, though. I've had some requests for Griff Calzone, too. But, I want the attention. My name is Chris Shelton. I need to keep the heat on Clearwater because he's a bum and a bozo. And Clearwater watches every one of my videos, so we got to make several videos a day. So that's why we're ramping up production here, folks. We can't let these people escape their crimes. Thanks, Form 13. Trying to think. Like I said, we're winding down. We only got a couple minutes left in the show because I have to get some rest. Oh, did you guys see the shorts on this channel? A friend of mine does the shorts. He's a good guy. He calls himself Oscar Ross. He calls himself the Communist Parts Guy. He gives tips on communism and automotive aftermarket. He's a good guy. He's a little out there. A lot of extreme ideas about communism. He wants to bring back the USSR. And, I don't know if I agree with him or not, but that's, you guys make up your own decision. But he does shorts on this channel. I throw him a bone once in a while. And I told him if he does videos on my channel, I'd let him wash my car. Yeah, Nance, definitely fun. Communism, a lot of people don't realize communism means community. And if you're against communities, you've lost me. You lost my vote. Thank you, Becky. He's got to respect your authority, just like Mel has to respect my authority. Just because Mel works 12 hours a day, she should come home. She should get immediately in the kitchen and start making my dinner. And she refuses. I agree with Form 13. Well, back in the USSR, if you guys remember, they had problems they had to work out. There's no doubt about that, but everyone had an apartment. There was no, and you could check with the Ushanka channels, one channel I watch. It was illegal not to have a job. Everyone had a job. So there was 0% unemployment. And if you wanted to take a day off, you had to get a clearance from your doctor. And those were the good old days, folks. They had some problems they had to work out, but they could have did it. And we're bringing back the USSR in 2025, so stay tuned for that. But like I said, Oscar Ross, he'll tell you more about that a different day. Who else do we have? We have another character that didn't make his debut yet. He's a little scared. I don't know if you guys are ready for him yet. He's, should I even mention it? Okay, we'll mention it. I don't know if he's going to come out or not. He's a little scared. His name is Gary Sullivan. All right. He used to be a high school teacher. Then he fell on hard times. He's homeless now, but he's trying to find an apartment and get his old job back teaching high school social studies. So, let's hope that he can find the courage to come on in the next few weeks. You know what I mean? You're right, Form 13. Chad did screw up the third USSR. That's what he does. So like I said, but Gary Sullivan, I don't know if you guys follow Matt Cox, but I do know Matt Cox personally. And Matt Cox is a good guy. But back when he was on the number one on the FBI list when he was doing mortgage fraud, he stole Gary Sullivan's identity theft, basically. And he cleaned up his credit, and he got he took out 5 mortgages in Gary Sullivan's name and credit cards and credit lines, So, at the time Gary was homeless, so Matt didn't think he would care. But now Gary's cleaning himself up. He's trying to get his job back, and we'll see where that goes, folks. That might come out in a few weeks. We'll see. See how the bean counters think that's going to go. And I agree. Everything is Aaron's fault. If you guys have any ideas for any characters, we can see if they can come on. Might take a few weeks. We're pretty backlogged over here at the Shelton University. And like I said, we're winding down. We're winding down the next few minutes. Because I'm tired. I don't have time for this. I'm too good for this. I'm the one. You guys can't handle the truth sometimes. I'm the legend. I'm the one. I keep winning. No one's as good at what I do but me. So until the haters, not you guys, until the haters can accept that I'm number one on YouTube, I have nothing left to say. Thanks, Miss Sunrise. Like I said, we're winding down. We're going to hit the end stream button in about a minute. So, before I fall asleep, folks. But it was really exciting to bring you the history of asbestos. And since you guys liked it, maybe we'll do a history of asbestos too. And it'll be a longer stream when I get some sleep. Yeah, me too, Nance. I did work all day because Mel won't give me her paycheck. She should be the only one Thank you, Miss Sunrise. Post that comment. It's a good comment. But, thanks, Miss Sunrise. Yeah, we're going to end in a few seconds, guys. Like I said, Mel should be the only one working. I'm too important. I got to stay in my studio instead of working, folks. Thanks, Mandy. Thanks, everyone. All right, this is it. This is for real, folks. End stream. Have a great night. Thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks a lot, Forum 13, everyone. Appreciate it. Have a great night.